setting up an ESOP in Cake. Setting up your first ESOP, your employee option plan. This is one of those things that sounds terrifying and bureaucratic, so founders put it off way longer than they should. Let me walk you through what it actually looks like in Cake, start to finish, because it's far more manageable than you'd think. First, you create the plan itself and set your pool. That's the chunk of equity you're setting aside for your team. Then you start issuing grants, and this is where you get to deliberate. Say you're granting options to your first engineer, you set the vesting. The standard you will see is 4 years and 1 year cliff. But you're not locked into that. You can build in performance milestones, so a chunk of options vests when they actually ship the thing or hit the goal, not just when the calendar moves. You can set the cliff, and you can configure double trigger acceleration, which is protection that kicks in for your team if the company gets acquired. All of that is just configuration on the grant. You're not handwriting legal logic. You're actually just choosing options. Then the board approvals. Normally, this is a part that turns into kind of an email nightmare where you have to chase signatures, version 16 of a PDF, one person always out of the office. In Cake, it's built right into the grant workflow. You generate the consent, it routes for approval, people e-sign, done, so there's no separate thread. And the plan documents generate themselves from templates. The grant letter, the paperwork, all produced and is tracked in one place. It's audit-ready. It's sitting right against the cap table. And here's the more kind of honest part, and I want to be straight with you. Your lawyer still defines the structure of a custom plan. That's their job, and you want them on it. But everything after that, the issuance, the approvals, the documents, the tracking, the communication to your team, Cake handles that. And that's generally most of the work. That communication piece is the one founders really underrate. When you issue a grant in Cake, it lands in the employee's My Cake view. So they're not stuck with a confusing line on an offer letter that they file and forget in the drawer. They see what they own and what it could be worth. And that's the whole point of doing this properly. When equity is set up right and your people actually understand what they're holding, it stops being paperwork and becomes like a performance driver. And that's the gap this workflow actually closes. So if you're standing up your first ESOP, that's it. Beginning to end. The full guide is linked below.